Today's Foodie Friday recommendation comes from Magda Subotowicz, and Magda has recommended KOKU Sushi, which is actually located in Oliva Business Park behind me. But anyway, I've got takeaway, so I'm actually going to head to a nearby park and enjoy my sushi there. So I've found a little bit of grass in a startup complex in Oliva, and now I'm going to have a look at my order. First out of the bag we have Miso Shiro soup. All important Miso Shiro soup. And there we go. Looks a little bit thick for Miso Shiro, but you know, we'll give it a go. Now usually I just drink out of the container, but in this instance I'm going to use a spoon to sample the Miso Shiro. Smacznego. Itadakimasu. Okay. This is a bit sweeter than what I'm used to with Miso Shiro. Also in Miso Shiro, you don't have such chunky mushrooms. Oh, okay. Mushrooms are very sweet. They've obviously been marinated. I don't mind, but it's not OG Miso Shiro, I have to say. And now I'll try some of these Udon Noodles. They've been cooking for a while, I think. They're a little bit soft compared to what I'm used to. Yeah, but they do have tofu, as you can see. I think they've used firm tofu, not kind of silky tofu by the taste of it. And now presenting a 28-pack sushi box. We got some tempura ones here. We got some with some braised salmon here. We got some salmon ones here. And over here we got some more braised salmon. And looks like a kind of a spring roll type thing. Anyway, so that's a nice little selection, huh? I'm gonna sit up for this one. So we got soy sauce. And right there in the middle we got a big wad of wasabi. Okay, chopsticks. Open. Soy sauce on the platter. And wasabi. Huh? So there we go, good mix there. I like a lot of wasabi. I like the kick. First one I'm gonna do is one of these tempura sushis. This is interesting. I've never had a deep fried piece of sushi. This is the first time for this one. So you got to see through. This is what it looks like from the underside. Okay. Lovely. It's interesting. This tempura one is very interesting. It's unnecessary, but it's interesting. I like it. I'm a fan. As we know, in between each mouthful, we take a bit of ginger to neutralize the palate. Next one I'm going to pick is one of these little guys here with salmon or tuna. I think it's tuna actually, come to think of it. I'm going to give it a nice dip there. And here we go. Smacznego. Lovely rice. And a nori tastes fresh as well. We're doing well. I'm going to do one more just by itself. Salmon. Smacznego. Good. Okay. And of course, in between, piece of ginger to neutralize the palate. And last but not least, I grab another one of these salmon ones with the braise on top. So here we go. The last salmon one. Here we go, the big one. Smacznego. By far my favorite one is the big one right there. And I don't know exactly why. I don't know if it's because of the cream cheese inside, which is usually not something I'm a fan of, especially in newer Japanese cuisine, but this is really nice. So now that I'm back at home, it's time for me to tell you what I think. Starting with presentation, everything looked quite good, especially that sushi. Beautifully presented.
However, the Miso Shiro did look a little bit crude, shall we say. So I'm going to give 4.5 for presentation, or looks. So if we're going to talk about the construction, or as we say, the build, how well things stayed together, as you saw, the sushi rolls were very well constructed. They all stayed together and it wasn't a problem. We don't need to say much about soup, obviously it's in a container, so, you know, all good there. Construction, I'll give it a 5. As for packaging, KOKU Sushi has done reasonably well. The bag was paper and they used a bit of foil, and obviously the chopsticks were wooden. However, the other bits of packaging were obviously plastic. So, tough one. I'm going to give them 3 for packaging. I think that's generous. Next up, we have the all-important taste. Well, let's start with the positives. The sushi was amazing. I was very, very happy with the sushi. I don't really have any complaints about it, actually. Maybe the wasabi could have had a little bit more bite, but then again, that's being picky. What I will criticize, though, is their Miso Shiro. I thought the Miso Shiro was far too watery. I thought the Udon Noodles weren't so great. And personally, I'm not used to having marinated sweet mushrooms in my Miso Shiro. It's an interesting experiment, but it's not what I would call real Miso Shiro. So it's a bit of filler there, but the main focus is the sushi, and the sushi was full points. So what are we going to give them? A 4. I think we'll give them a 4. And last but not least, value. I paid 99 zlotys for my Miso Shiro and my 28-piece sushi pack. For one person, that is well and truly more than enough. So for 2 people, provided that you were to grab another Miso Shiro, it would be very satisfying for a meal. And considering the quality, I think it's incredibly good value, actually. 5 for value. There we go. Done. So guys, what did you think? Have you been to KOKU Sushi in another Polish city? Let us know in the comments below. And until next time, you can check out all the cool content we have on facebook.com/Gdańsk in your pocket. And we're also on Instagram @Gdańsk in your pocket. And until next time, while the sun comes out, I'll see you again next week.